All right. Hello, Graham. Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Josh, thanks for taking the time to meet with me. I've got to admit, I'm a little surprised. This is the first time I've come to a session like this in my entire career.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you decided to come and sit with me today. It shows just how much that you care about your work and your team. So, Graham, let me just give you a little bit of a breakdown of how these meetings typically go. This is an open discussion, open and honest discussion. You have no need to worry about judgment or disapproval at all. My goal for you today is to walk out of my office with some new perspective and fresh ideas. I know that we can accomplish this, and you're going to be the captain here. So, how's that sound?
I think that sounds terrific. I'm always open to suggestions and new tools and theories.
Excellent. All right, so let's just start with the basics. What brings you in today?
Well, Josh, as you know, I've been the head of marketing for about 15 years here. My staff, they've always been amazing to work with, and I feel that I have some fairly good standing with my employees. Lately, though, it's I've been noticing some barriers with the new hires. Don't get me wrong, they're wonderful employees, but just some barriers.
Well, your track record certainly does speak for itself, Graham. Just the other day, I was actually having a conversation with Brian by the water cooler, and he was talking about how much he loves working for you.
Oh wow, really? Man, Brian's great. He's such a workhorse and he's so creative. I actually think he's probably going to be up for promotion pretty soon.
That's awesome. Clearly, you had a great mentor.
Well, he Brian has always been a great worker, and I honestly hardly needed to teach him anything.
Why don't you tell me a little bit more about your history with Brian? Clearly he's a success story, and he's not much older than your current staff.
Oh gosh, well, when he first started here, he was fresh out of college, incredibly bright kid, and he was really quick to learn. I will admit there were some times we did butt heads a bit when he first started, but he displayed a bit of an arrogant side, and you know me, I'm no stranger to humbling others.
Well, that's actually great that you mentioned that, Graham. It shows that you're not afraid to challenge your staff and keep them grounded. Confidence is key, but arrogance is a whole different story.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, after the first month though, I began to really get to know Brian, and this was the first time that I had a recent graduate for an employee.
So you saw the challenge ahead of you, and you took the time to figure it out. That is one of the qualities that has made you an excellent leader, Graham. Anyone can be a boss, but it really does take true leadership to connect with your staff. How would you say your getting to know you phase, went with Brian?
It was honestly very enlightening. I learned that he was heavily dedicated to his schoolwork during his time in college, and I think that explains why he's one of my top employees now.
Brian does seem to share some qualities with you in terms of work ethic and dedication. Is that a fair assumption?
Oh, definitely. I really do see a bit of me in him, and as cliche as that sounds, it's true.
Sounds like you're almost butting heads with yourself for a bit.
Well, honestly, at times it was pretty scary. It was like talking to a younger version of me.
Well, Graham, from what I'm hearing, you're already a well-respected member of this staff, and you know how to not only accomplish tasks, but you can also seem to have a knack for making your employees feel valued. Once again, excellent qualities in a leader. Would it be safe to say that your new hires remind you a bit of Brian when he first started?
Josh, I hadn't really looked at it that way, but it does make a lot of sense, though. They're bright kids and they're more than capable of accomplishing their tasks. I just feel like sometimes they listen to me without really listening. You know what I mean?
Why don't you tell me a little bit more on that?
Well, they do complete the assignments that I delegate to them, but they seem to decide what projects are more important than others when I specifically ask them to complete certain ones first.
They're still able to get all their work done, though?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel you there, Graham. Sometimes it can be really frustrating to see somebody completing something that you just know that you could get done quicker.
Seriously, I mean, I must say, after I have some time to think about it, I usually end up telling myself that, the job is done and there really is nothing to worry about.
That's an excellent observation, Graham. I think you've truly just seen your work from a different perspective. You acknowledge that while you may have your own way of conducting yourself and your projects, your staff is benefiting from learning the basics from you, but then also putting their own spin on it. You've already realized that as long as the work gets done, it's nothing to really sweat about, and you're able to trust your staff.
Wow, Josh, you're right. This whole time I was worrying that my staff was completing their work incorrectly, yet I was able to rein myself in and tell myself it's all good. The work is done, and it's okay if it was done differently than I would have done it.
I think this has really been an excellent first session, Graham. You've made some great progress. Let me ask you one more quick question before we break for the day. If you had a magic wand and you could wave it once for any solution to all your concerns, how would you see that play out?
Ah, well, I would say I would sit with my team and discuss my feelings. I want them to know that they really are appreciated and that I'm proud of them. In fact, it would be more of a getting to know them kind of session. I think that once we start communicating, we can really break ground on where we stand currently and what we are all looking for in our workplace relationships. I think that would be really helpful for all of us.
Well, Graham, it sounds like that you just came up with an excellent plan for strengthening your team. How would you put this together?
When I think about it, I think I should start monthly team meetings. We have our current weekly meetings for business, but I think a monthly meeting just to discuss our ideas and feelings about the team, that would be, really beneficial for us.
Well, all right, Graham. You have the vision and you have the strategy, and I know you have what it takes to put it in motion. Graham, I want to thank you so much again for sitting with me today. I'm confident that you're going to walk out of here and kill it.
Josh, I got to thank you too. This has been such a great and informative session. How about you and I also meet once a month, kind of a wrap up of each month, maybe?
That sounds like a fantastic idea. I look forward to it. All right, Graham. Take it easy and feel free to drop by whenever. My door is always open.
Thanks, Josh. Have a good one.
You too.